Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So this topic is going to be about UK's education system. Personally for me, it's been now 6 years, almost about 6 years that I've been living in the UK. I came here when I was 17. I pursued my undergraduate degree. I did my master's degree. Now I'm doing my job. It's been 2 years, almost 2 years that I've got the job. So, I've gone through a lot of things in the UK, and especially the education system. Education is such a important and critical factor which has been important in my own journey, so that I was able to get the job which I dreamt of. And obviously I feel quite satisfied with the job which I'm pursuing right now. I am stable financially and from other fronts too, and I do have some purpose at the work which I work towards. And and fundamentally this has all been possible because of the education system. And we Indians, obviously we are used to our own education system until +2, which is a lot theory based, but then obviously we do also have some practicals. We do go to the labs, we'll do some experiments, but we all know that there's a bit less of it. And obviously India is changing, India is growing, and there's more emphasis on the vocational training, which is all amazing. However, if somebody goes to UK after their A levels, which is +2 in India, there's a big shock which comes there, because the education system in the UK is completely different. The same for the master's students. When they finish their bachelor's degree, they go for the masters. They are in a bit of a shock, and especially for the master's students, they've only got 1 year to adjust to this new system. So it's really important for them to know that how does the things work in the UK. And that's the intent of this video, which I wanted to make and explain you what are the main things which you should be aware about before you move to the UK. So the very first point here is in terms of your application, right? If you're an undergraduate student, you'll be applying through UCAS, you'll be applying for the 5 universities. If you get the offer letter from the 5 universities, you get an option to select which university you want to pursue. And here my recommendation would be pick the university which is from 1 to 50 in terms of their ranking for that specific subject, not the overall ranking of the university, but the subject ranking. And then for the postgraduate, then also you can apply directly to that master courses, and then you are there. Now the second important point is on the scholarships. A lot of students miss on the scholarships because they don't apply on time. So make sure your application is well structured. If you are coming to September, start thinking about the universities from January onwards. Try doing your own research. Which are the universities which I want to go and study in? I do help a lot of students to help them out during that process. So I do have my Super Peer webpage where you can book a one-to-one call with me, if just in case if you need any help at all from my side, you can do that. So yes, you have applied for scholarships, and I'm sure that you'll be easily able to get a scholarship which is around 2,000 to 5,000 pounds. Obviously depends on how well the SOP which you apply for the scholarship, how well that has been drafted, how well structured it is, and that's the really decision making process for the universities to offer you scholarship or not. Again, I help with that too. Let me know if you need my help. So now you're aware about the scholarships. Now you're finally here in the UK, you're pursuing your studies. Now I think a very big difference here is around the way the subject is taught. For example, for master's students and for undergraduate students both, there's a lot of emphasis on self-learning. Whereas I think if you think about India, like when you pursue your bachelor's or master's, there's a lot of help from the professor, right? They'll have a whiteboard, they'll help you take it through it. Then they've got loads of books where you need to read, and that's how we do our examinations. Whereas in the UK, it's all about presentations. And that content always changes. So the content which was taught, let's say for me in the last year, for the students, it won't be the same this year because they constantly update the slides and the content which is being shared. So that's the one thing which we need to get used to, that it's not just going to be a syllabus which has been really outdated. It's going to be a new syllabus, which is a really good thing about the students. Then obviously if the concept is going to be new, it's going to be challenging at the same time, because a lot of research will still be going on as the concept is being taught to you students. And obviously when it comes to the examination, that concept can also be asked to you, and obviously that concept is again still under the development process. So then it goes back to your basics. How well do you know about the basics? And during the examination, those basics are the stuff which are really questioned over there, right? So they'll give you a really new concept which they haven't necessarily taught you. It will be a different situation based question, And then from the answering standpoint, they have already told you about the fundamental building blocks, but now it's about the problem solving and critical thinking ability, how to connect the dots to answer that question. So whereas I think in India, a lot of examination questions would be straight off, you can get it from the book, write the answers to it, and that's a really, really big change. And the second thing is, it's not all about examinations in the UK, especially for the master's students. There's a lot of emphasis on the group assignment, so you'll be having group studies. And when you do the group studies, it's really important to have good connection with your team members. I've seen so many groups where they don't have a good connection with the team members and the group collapses, and as a result the entire group is penalized because you guys are supposed to be working on a specific project, and if you guys are not meeting on time, somebody is late, you're just doing that blame game here and there, yeah, it's not going to work out. So it's really important to be proactive at the same time in the UK. So there's always some sort of support which is available. So if you think something is not working right in your education, go to your professor, talk about it, and then they are going to help you out. I've seen a lot of students, they don't ask for the support and the help at the right time. They ask when everything is done, once they have got the grade, then they ask for support, and it doesn't work. Again, when you're sick, you have got some personal emergency back in your country, make sure you tell them there's a specific personal circumstances form which you can fill in. And when you fill that form in, for example, you had an assignment, you'll get some relaxation on the marking system for that particular assignment. Whereas if you don't tell anybody, you just keep it to yourself, you're going to be penalized because obviously professor isn't aware about your personal circumstances. It's so much important to be proactive. If you've got some challenges, make sure you're clarifying on time. The another important thing is about asking the questions. I'm not sure how this is in India because obviously I've never studied in the India after my +2, but especially in abroad, you'll be having some questions all the time when you're reading through the slides, whatever the professor is teaching you. And professors do something called 1 hour in a week, where it's like an open session where any student can go to their office and ask them the doubts. Make sure you do this. If you're not able to go to during that session because of a part-time job or something else, make sure you send them an email, tell them I want to book a 20 minutes appointment with you, and professors are really helpful. So make sure you do that so that your doubts are clarified. Before going ahead, I would like to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Ember Students. So if you're somebody who's coming to the UK, Ember Students are a best place to look for accommodation, as it is a marketplace of accommodation. So let's say if you're going to Glasgow, they'll have all the accommodations listed on their platform. They've got amazing cashback offers for the students, amazing discounts, really supportive team, any help you need, contact the team itself. There's a link mentioned in the description of this video. Click on the link, go to Ember Student webpage, and make sure to book your accommodation. And make sure you book it ASAP because a lot of students actually struggle to get the accommodation later if they keep it at the end point. Thank you. Now carry on with the video. The final point which I want to raise in this video is about the career system which university offers. So for example, when you want to apply the job, you want to go into the job market, there's some CV help which is available, cover letter help which is available from the university. So you as an international student, make sure that you're aware like who are the right persons to contact. There's some information on the website regarding it. So go on the website, know what the information is, and contact the right people so that you get some help on your CV and cover letter, because obviously you won't be used to the format to applying to the UK based job. To the CV and cover letter expectations are different versus what we have in India. So that's another big change, and make sure you're getting the support and assistance from the right folks. Another important thing which is asked by me regarding the UK education system is on the grade system, that what sort of marks should we target so that we get a good opportunity to get a job once we go into the job market, when we start applying for the jobs. Here I always recommend you guys to aim for first class degree, which means that your overall percentage has to be 70% and more. My target here would be for you guys would be to aim for 80% and more, because then you come under distinction classification, and once you put distinction on your CV and on your profile, your chances to get that specific job really increases, because you think about it's going to be a competition, and to stand out in the competition, obviously we are international students, we need to obviously do more to prove ourselves, because to get a sponsored job, because there's a lot of effort from the company which they need to make in. So make sure you let them know why you're unique. So aim for a distinction, and obviously we guys do part-time jobs and other things during the university. Make sure you add those little things in your CV. A lot of people miss it because it tells your time management and the teamwork skills by adding those few little snippets in your CV itself. So this is all what I wanted to share in this video. If this was useful, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.